أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خاتم النبيين وسيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Tonight, my dear brothers and sisters, we'll continue what we started in our first lecture. And you remember in the first one that we discussed the meaning of the soul or the ruh. And then we talk about the life of the ruh in this world and different type of people. And then tonight, inshallah, we'll start by ending this life. What will happen at the time of death and where this soul will go after death. This will be our main topic tonight, inshallah. First of all, just a reminder about this life. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Al-Mulk that Allah Azza wa Jal created life and death for the purpose of trial people, to see who's going to do good, then he will be rewarded, or the one who will go astray and then he will be punished. So this, if we say that the life of the human before he come to this world, that means when he was embryo in the womb of his mother, preparation for this life, and then when he come here, he stay till certain age, and then the test will start. So he will be responsible about whatever he is doing. Now people are different in the way they are looking at this world. People who are not aware of the truth about their God, about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about their return to the Creator, they will live this world as amusement, and they don't even give any chance for themselves to think about the hereafter. يعلمون ظاهرا من الحياة الدنيا. They know only about this world. They make progress, inventions, many things, discoveries. But they are not aware of the hereafter, which is the real life. This life is not the real life, because there is end for this life. The life in the grave, it's not the end also. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, قُلْ مَتَاعُ الدُّنْيَا قَلِيلٌ, in Surah An-Nisa. Say, the enjoyment of this world is a little, and the hereafter is better. Because the real life is in the hereafter, not in this world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said also, اعلموا أنما الحياة الدنيا لعب ولهو وزينة وتفاخر بينكم وتكاثر في الأموال والأولاد. This is the life here. Know that the life in this world is but amusement and diversion and adornment and boasting to one another and competition and increase of wealth and children. That's it. This is life. So Allah Azza wa Jal, when He sent messengers, He sent all messengers to remind us about the real life, the life that will be forever. قال عز وجل يا أيها الناس إن وعد الله حق فلا تغرنكم الحياة الدنيا ولا يغرنكم بالله الغرور. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "O mankind," addressing everyone, "indeed, the promise of Allah is truth. So let not the worldly life delude you, and be not deceived about Allah by the deceiver." Who is the deceiver? The shaitan. The deceiver, the one who will deceive you, take you away from the way of Allah Azza wa Jal. And the life of this world also can deceive you if the person follow his own desires and he think that this is the real life. In fact, he deceived himself. In fact, Allah Azza wa Jal encouraged us in many verses in the Quran, and also the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, reminding us that the purpose of our being in this world to prepare our house in the hereafter. Prepare for the hereafter, where the life will last forever. قال عز وجل: وابتغ فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة ولا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا. But seek through that which Allah has given you, the home of the hereafter. And do not forget your share of this world. Look to the statement, look to the verse. Whatever you have, Allah Azza wa Jal gave you knowledge, gave you wealth, gave you health. Whatever Allah Azza wa Jal provides in this world, you should use it to seek the hereafter. So this is the main thing. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and don't forget your share in this world. And it means that, concentrating. When you concentrate in the hereafter, you may forget about this world. Don't forget. So that means this world is not the main purpose. This world is not our target. But because you are busy working for the hereafter, you may forget about this, your life. Here, don't forget. Like you want to say, when you say for somebody, go to, if you are going to school, and in your way, don't forget to take with you a cup of coffee. Okay? So that's not the objective here. So the believers, in fact, those who believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, they are seeking His pleasure and looking for the day when they are in the paradise, near Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why you see Asiya, the wife of the Pharaoh, she's a believer. What did she ask? قالت رب ابن لي عندك بيتا في الجنة. Look, she said, "Oh my Lord, build for me a house near you, في الجنة, in paradise." So they said she chose the neighborhood before the house. Asiya. So, but the disbelievers, they only think about this word. قال عز وجل: وَلَتَجِدَنَّهُمْ أَحْرَصَ النَّاسِ عَلَى حَيَاةٍ. And you will surely find them the most greedy of people for life. And the Quran said haya and didn't say al-haya. Now what's the difference between haya and al-haya? Haya does mean life. But al-haya means the life, which means the real life. Haya, life, any type of life. Doesn't matter. أحرص الناس على حياة. Any life. Any type of life. It doesn't matter. Is it good? Is it good? Is it bad? Doesn't matter. So they didn't seek al-haya. And the same when people say, قال عز وجل: ومن الناس من يقول ربنا آتنا في الدنيا وما له في الآخرة من خلاق ومنهم من يقول ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Think about this verse. And among people is he who says, our Lord, give us in this world. Open. Didn't say hasana. Didn't say good life. Give us in this world anything. So some people are greedy about money, positions, desires, anything in this world. But the believer, what they said, and this is why Allah Azza wa Jalla said about these people, and he will have in the hereafter no share. Why? Because all what he think is what? About this world, this life. But look to the believer. But among them is he who says, our Lord give us in this world good. Not only just give us in this world, good, hasan. And in the hereafter, that which is good also. And protect us from the punishment of the fire. So look between the two groups. The first group ask about life, any life. But the Muslim, the believer, seek the goodness in this world and the goodness of the hereafter. Okay. So, there are many people, in fact, who are thinking only about this world and they forget about their end. They forget that one day they will leave this world. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as mentioned in Surah Al-Qaf, وجاءت سكرة الموت بالحق ذلك ما كنت منه تحيد. And the death is come now. This is the thing that you try all your life to avoid. Everybody want to avoid this end. But this is, every living being will die. كل من عليها فان. And here, my dear brothers, when we say death, the soul never dies. Now, what does it mean, death here? So the death for man, when the soul leaves the body. But the soul, in fact, moved from one stage to another. From one life to another life. And this is one of the things that never die. Right. Is there any good sign for the end? I mean, the person. First of all, we should understand that the Muslim, the believer, always should think about this end. Always remind himself. Always. Even he is healthy or he is young. Because, as you know, death come without any what? Any warning. It will come direct. When the minute it's come, he will leave this world. And people, for sure, they don't like or they don't love to die. But the believer do. The believer do. But not at the beginning. Aisha radiallahu anha, she heard the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, من أحب لقاء الله أحب الله لقاءه ومن كره لقاء الله كره الله لقاءه. Whoever loves to meet Allah, Allah will love to meet him. And whoever hates to meet Allah, Allah will hate or dislike to meet him. So she said, O Prophet of Allah, every one of us hates death. Nobody loves death. Right or not? Everybody don't like to be dying. But the Prophet ﷺ explained to her. He said, it doesn't mean this, but it means at the time of death, when the believer gets the good or the glad tidings from the angels that he will go to the mercy of Allah, then he will love to meet Allah. But a disbeliever, when the angels come to take his soul, and he know that he wasn't going to paradise or will be punished for whatever he did, so he will hate death. He would like to return to this world. So Allah does not like to meet him. So everyone, my dear brothers, will die in a certain time. كل نفس ذائقة الموت. كل نفس ذائقة الموت. And we see here, Allah Azza wa Jal said nafs, didn't say ruh. And you remember when we talked in the first part that the meaning of nafs, the combination of the soul and the body, or when the body is inside the soul. And this is what we mentioned before when you talk about different type of nafs. النفس اللوامة والنفس الظالمة لنفسه الظالم لنفسه والنفس المطمئنة. Okay. قال تعالى وما كان لنفس أن تموت إلا بإذن الله كتابا مؤجلا. And no person can ever die except by Allah's permission and at an appointed term. No one, my dear brother or sister, will take your life. If Allah Azza wa Jal wants to give you life, nobody can take it. And nobody can extend your life also. When the time or the term comes. If the whole doctors of the world get together to save the life of a person that his term is arrived, they will not be able to do so. Everyone at the time of death, he wants to return to this world. And everyone regrets. The believer regrets that he didn't get more of the good deeds. But a disbeliever, for sure, he will ask. And he begged to return to this world. قال عز وجل حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت قال رب ارجعون لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما تركت كلا إنها كلمة هو قائلها ومن ورائهم برزخ إلى يوم يبعثون. This is Surah Al-Mu'minun, verse 99 and 100. The meaning, until when death comes into one of them, he saith, my Lord, send me back, that I may do right in that which I have left behind. But nay, it's but a word that he speaks. It will be said to them, no. And behind them is barzakh. What's the meaning of barzakh? We'll talk about it. A barrier until the day when they are raised. So when the person dies, till the time of resurrection, this period called Al-Barzakh. Al-Barzakh. The meaning of Barzakh in Arabic is the barrier between two sides. As Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned in Surah Al-Rahman about the two seas. مرج البحرين يلتقيان بينهما برزخ لا يبغيان. Allah merged the two seas. You see the two seas. Okay, what's happened? They merged. But something that people they just discovered these days, and this is one of the miracles of the Quran. قال عز وجل بينهما برزخ لا يبغيان. Between them, between the two seas, barzakh, barriers, that no one will overcome the other. Everyone will keep its character, okay, which is different from the other. Subhanallah. So the word barzakh, my dear brothers and sisters, means barriers. So this is the world of barzakh, the living or the time when people are in their grave. And they will not stay forever. Why? Because this is only middle stage between this world and the hereafter. And this is why Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned about this or staying in grave as somebody visiting a place. قال عز وجل ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر. ألهاكم التكاثر. People here are busy with this word. قال عز وجل حتى زرتم. Look at this word. زرتم. That means till you visit graves. What does it mean visit? When you visit somewhere, it means what? To stay there? Huh? You will leave it. Whenever you say I visit, or I visited, or I will visit, that means you will go, and then what happened? You will move or return back. So Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned about graves, زرتم المقابر. That means, and this to show you how short is life. Even this long life, as we see it for people who stay in their grave from the time they die till the time of the hereafter, which is for some people who pass before thousands of years. But Allah Azza wa Jal call it visit. It's short because it will be over one day. So everyone will die. And here, before I go in detail about or to speak about what will happen at the time of death, let me just mention, especially because we have some sisters here who are working as nurses, and this may benefit them in their work. It is a duty, or it is for every Muslim who is attending a person that he is dying. What should he do? Very important to know this. First of all, at the time that he is dying, I mean that means the soul is still in the body, and this process may take the whole day. When the blood pressure go down, and you see that's meaning, doctors, people who are working, they know that this man is dying now. But before the soul get out of the body, it is recommended by the action of the Sahaba, that they recite Surah Yasin. To recite Surah Yasin. This means you sit beside this dead person and recite it loudly. Okay? This is okay, because there is some narration of the Sahaba, they are telling about this. Before the soul leave the body, be careful. And then it is recommended also to remind the dying person to say the Shahada by saying, say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Say la ilaha illallah. And you should say it once. Don't pressure and put pressure on him. Say. It will be, he's in a position, a situation. It's a difficult situation. So maybe because if you are pushing him, he will say no or some other word. So just say to him, say la ilaha illallah. If he say it, stop. Don't repeat. Unless he talk about after it. If he talk, then you repeat on him, say la ilaha illallah. So this is something. And when he die, I mean after the soul leave the body, then you should close his eyes or her eyes. This is very important, because he will be washed. Now, the other explanation, which is reported by the Prophet ﷺ, that when the soul leaves the body, the sight gaze it. Follow it. So it's better, here it is sunnah that close the eyes of the dead person. After this, it's not sunnah to read the Quran. He left, don't recite the Quran. Khalas. Now, there is certain signs which we say the signs of good end. And this good end, my dear brothers and sisters, everyone wish, the good end and looking for the good end. And here, there are certain signs that only the dead person see it, which we'll talk about it in the hadith Al-Bara ibn Azib. And there's other signs that people around the dead person, they can notice it. Okay. It was narrated in the Sahih that the Prophet ﷺ said, when Allah wills good for his slave, he uses him. He uses him. In other narration, astalahu, sweetened him. And they ask, what does it mean, use him, or using him, or sweeten him? And the Prophet ﷺ explained to us this. He said that Allah Azza wa Jal, out of his mercy, will guide him to do a good act, and while he is doing this good deed, Allah take his soul. So you'll find some people dying while they are praying, or they are fasting, or in Hajj, or in Umrah, or prostrating. Maybe you notice this. Some people die during their prostration, or their ruku', or in Salah, or reciting the Quran. This is good end. This is a sign of good end, as it was mentioned in this hadith. Also, of the good end for the person, as mentioned in some narration, that to die on the night of Friday or during the day of Friday, like tonight. Because you see, when we say the night in Arabic, the night of Friday, the night that's come before the day. So tonight is Friday. Okay? Not Thursday. Not the 12 o'clock is the mid of the night. No. The night is started from the time of sunset of the following day. The following day started with the sunset of the previous day. So this tonight is Friday and tomorrow Friday. So there is some narration that said, it said that dying on a Friday is a sign of good end. Now let's see what happened when a person died. This was mentioned in very long hadith that was narrated by Al-Bara ibn Azib radiyallahu anhu, and it was collected also by Al-Bukhari. It said this. Now Al-Bara is telling this. Once we went with Allah's Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam to bury a man of the Ansar. We reached the location of the grave before the burial took place. Allah's Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam sat down in the ground facing the direction of the Qibla. And we came around him. We all were so quiet and perfectly still, as if birds had landed on our heads, and we did not want to scare them away. Tranquility, calm, everybody is sitting. That even the birds may come and think this is wood or something, so they can land there because they don't move. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, raised his eyes to heaven and lowered it to them, to the ground 3 times. And then he said, seek refuge with Almighty Allah from the torture of the grave. Adabul Qabr. You seek refuge. And this is something, my dear brothers and sisters, we should do in every salah. At the end, after you say at-tahiyyat and you say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, before you say salam, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us to seek refuge with Allah from how many things? 4 things. One of them is Adab al-Qabr. One of them, Adab al-Qabr. So this is something that we should do. And then the Prophet ﷺ explained, and he said, when a believing servant, that's mean a believer, is about to end his life, time of his death, in this world, and depart to the hereafter, angels from heaven come down to him or her, with them shroud and some strong perfume from paradise. Shroud, fragment of perfume from paradise. And then these angels, as is mentioned in the hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, resemble, and their faces resemble the sunlight. That's mean with bright faces. This angel will sit in front of the dying person until the angel of death comes and sits by the head of the dying person. Now these angels came ahead of the angel of death, Malakul Maut. And when the Malakul Maut comes, he will say, now address this soul. O good soul, come out of this body to the mercy and forgiveness and the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jalla. This will be the way that the angel of death will address the believer. Now when the soul hear this glad tidings, what will happen? It will come out easily. Because he was giving, or he was giving the glad tidings. Come to a mercy. And this mentioned in Allah in Surah Al-Mulk, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية. O good soul, return to your Lord. You will be pleased, and Allah Azza wa Jalla is pleased with you. راضية مرضية. The Prophet ﷺ said, to explain the way that this soul will come out, the soul of the departing person, upon hearing this call, will come out as a drop of water would so easily and smoothly from the leather water container. You see, you have a leather container. When the drop of water come out, it will come very easily, smoothly. The angel of death take the soul, and then those angels, they will not leave it in his hand. They will take it and they will put it in what? In the shroud they brought from heaven. And then they take it up to heaven. When they come to the first heaven, they will ask for permission, and they're carrying this soul, and with very good smell, and then they will say, whom with you? And they will tell the name of the person by the best of his name that he loved. That people used to call him, or he loved people to call him in this world, as praise for him. And when the soul reaches the gate of the seventh heaven, Allah Almighty will command, place the records of this servant of mine in highest place. عليين. عليين. وما أدراك ما عليون. And this mentioned in Surah Al-Mutaffifin. And called عليين from أعلى, highest. عليون. Because as Allah Azza wa Jal said, return the believing soul back to earth, as Allah Azza wa Jal created man from earth and returns man to earth and will resurrect man again from earth. So the Prophet ﷺ said, the soul of the believing person will be returned to the earth, whereby it goes back into the seed body in the grave. When he's in the grave, the soul will return there. Now don't try to say, okay, we'll dig the grave and we'll see it and he's returned to life. This is different life. If you dig, you will not find but dead body. But this is something, as we said, of the unseen. And the Prophet ﷺ told us about this, and as I mentioned at the beginning, whatever we are talking here about is based on what? On revelation. It's not a matter that we are using our own judgment or our conclusion or our own analysis. At this point, the dead person will hear the footsteps of his family and friends who brought him to the cemetery and are returning to their homes. The minute the people, they bury him and they are returning, he will hear قرع نعالهم, يسمع قرع نعالهم, returning. Subhanallah. And this is why, brothers, it's good after bury the person to stay longer to make dua for him. As long as you can. Make dua. As it's mentioned in other hadith, ادعوا لأخيكم فإنه الآن يسأل. Pray for your brother. Make dua for him. Because now he is questioned. And then two stern angels will appear to the dead person. Their names, as you know, Munkar wa Nakir. They will be very forceful and have high-toned voices and will unnerve the deceased person, try to scare him. And they will ask him the questions. And every one of us know these questions. Man Rabbuk? Ma Dinuk? What do you say about this man? ماذا تقول عن الرجل الذي أرسل فيكم? Ask him about the Prophet ﷺ. Who's your Lord? What's your religion? What do you say about this man that was inviting, calling you to Allah? So the believer will answer easily. You may ask what language he will speak. Some people ask this question. Anyway, there's different views about this. But we know for sure that this dead person will understand the language. So don't worry about the language. Okay? If you know the answer, you will be able to say it. And here it's not a matter of the knowledge of the mind, but depends on what? On the deed of the person. If he die on iman, on belief, on faith, then he will be able to answer and respond to these questions. So he will say, my Lord is Allah. My religion is Islam. And when they asked him about the Prophet, he said, he is the messenger of Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ continued to say, that is the last trial believing person will have endure in this world. Now he passed. And if you pass in the grave easily, whatever will come after it, inshallah, it will be easier. Upon giving the answer, the soul will hear an announcer proclaim in heaven, "My servant has said the truth." Then the grave will be expanded as far as the eye can see. Will see. Will be expanded. And one side of the coffin will open up, and good-looking man with nice clothes will appear and say to the deceased, "I am your good deeds." In fact, he will come, your good deeds, it will come to you in the grave in a form of a good person, good-looking person, perfumed person, nice appearance. So when the person see him, he said, "Who are you?" The one that looking at you give the feeling of goodness or relaxing. He said, "I am your good deed." This is why, my dear brothers, it's very important to perfect our deed in this world. The more you perfect your good deeds here, and the more you have more good deeds, that's what you will see there. And then he will say then, it will be open for him a gate or a window to the hell. He said, "How come? He's a believer." It will say to him, "You see, this is your place, or this is your seat in the hell if you didn't believe." And it will be closed. But Allah replace it for you with this. It will be open for him a window to his seat in paradise. And this will make him more happy. Happy that Allah Azza wa Jal saved him from that seat, and then he found that seat in paradise. And then he will feel the perfume that's come to him and the cooling of paradise. And when he's sure that he will go to paradise, he will shout, "Oh my Lord, hasten the hour." He wants the resurrection start, Yawm al-Qiyamah start, because he knows that he is going where? To paradise. He wants to go to his house, but it will say to him, "Sleep, a good sleep," like a person, like the bride that will be wakened by the most beloved person to her heart. So this is the situation for the believer. Look to the other side, the wicked soul, and the wicked mean the disbeliever, those who don't believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. The wicked soul of the dying person will rush to separate when the angel of death come to take it. First of all, angels, they will come in different form. They will come with the darkness, gloomy faces, and they come and surround him. And then come the angel of death. And then the angel of death will say to this soul, the wicked soul, "O wicked soul, get out and receive the wrath and humiliation from Allah." A warning. So what will happen? It will not come out. Try to disappear in every vein. And then so the angel of death will pull out the soul just like a steel comb pulls out dirt from a wet thick sheep wool. Every vein will feel the pain in the body of this person. All these, brothers, it's happened in front of us, but we don't see it. And so read the Quran. Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned in the Quran about this. That's when the soul reached the throat. قال عز وجل وأنتم حينئذ تنظرون. At that time when this person is dying, you are looking at him. قال عز وجل وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْكُمْ وَلَكِنْ لَا تُبْصِرُونَ. But we are more near to him than you. But you don't see. Something of the unseen. While this happened, the vein and nerves of the dying person will be cut because of this, torn and ripped. And then the angels, all the angels of heaven and earth, will curse the soul of this disbelieving soul. And those angels will grab it from the angel of death when he take it. So these angels will shroud this wicked soul with a shroud from the hell, because they brought shroud with them from the hell, and give it the awful odor from hell, which smells like a dead, rotting animal. They will pass the soul among themselves and call him or her by the most awful names that he knows with. They will pass the soul among themselves, and then the journey of the soul will continue until it gets the first gate of heaven. And this wicked soul will be refused and rejected. The gate of heaven, it will not be opened for it. It's not like the believing soul that go from one heaven to another till reach the seventh heaven. What will happen here? قال عز وجل إن الذين كذبوا بآياتنا واستكبروا عنها لا تفتح لهم أبواب السماء ولا يدخلون الجنة حتى يلج الجمل في سم الخياط. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned this ayah. He said, to those who reject our signs and treat them with arrogance, no opening will there be of the gates of heaven, nor will they enter the garden of paradise until the camel can pass through the eyes of the needles. Can you imagine this big camel pass through the eye of the needle? That means it's impossible. Never ever think about it. Then Allah Azza wa Jal will say, record his name in the lowest layer of the earth, Sijin. And Sijin, it's like Sijin. You know Sijin, prison? They call it Sijin. Sijin is the narrow place. This is the meaning of Sijin in Arabic. Okay, the linguistic meaning. And this is why they call it Sijin, because no matter how big is the prison, it's considered for the one who is there as what? Very narrow, very small. He was seized in this place. So these souls, all these wicked souls, will be seized in Sijin. And then it will be returned to the body again, just to make it very quick. And then the angels, the two angels, will come and will ask him the same question. Who's your Lord? Man Rabbuk? What is your religion? And this person who never believed in Allah Azza wa Jal, even sometimes he hear, or even he say, as munafiq or whoever doesn't believe, but just by tongue, he will say, I don't know. You get lost. Even it was very easy question. But because he didn't live his life according to this question, to this main believing in Allah, to live your life as a believer in Allah. Okay? To say that my religion is Islam, to live your life I mean, you should live your life as a Muslim. To love Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, then you should follow him. You believe in Muhammad as a messenger of Allah, you should follow him. And then an announcement will say, my servant has lied. Why he has lied? Because he lived his life in lying. Lying on himself and deny the truth. So he's a liar. And then the grave will become very tight and very narrow. So much so that his or her ribs will curve into each other. See the difference here. Then one side of the grave will open up and a very ugly, awful smelling person will appear wearing the worst clothing, and he will say, I am your evil deeds. So he will come, who are you? I am your evil deed. You are the one who made me. May Allah protect us all. So when he see this, he know that what will come next is more worse. So he will say, oh Lord, please don't let the day of judgment ever come. Yes, he's in trouble here, but at least it's, easier than what will come after it. In some narration, it said that will be open for him a window at the beginning at paradise. Say, look, this is your seat in paradise if you believe. Then it will be shut. But you didn't. Then this is your seat in the hell. Now why it was done like this? To regret and feel the pain that he missed that place because of his evil deed. So now the people of those, in the graves, my dear brother, they are living different life. They are living different life. We don't see it. And there's many questions that people are raised. Okay, does the dead souls, or the dead, when they are in the barzakh, do they see each other? Meet each other? There is some narration that said, verily the soul of the believer after death soars up to the heaven, where the souls of other believers come to it, seeking news about these they know from the people of earth. And this Al-Albani mentioned in a Silsila Sahih. That another narration, now those believers, believing souls who died before, when a new soul come, they will come try to get news, ask them. That even some of them, they will say to each other, okay, be patient, be patient. He just come from dunya. He went through very difficult time. Be patient. They ask him about, and this is why some ulama said, it is always to do good. So good news will be carried about you. Okay? And this good news will please those dead, your loved one who passed away ahead of you. Okay, does the living souls and dead souls meet? In some views that they meet. When? At the time of sleep. It said during the dream or sleep, it is possible to two types of soul that they meet. And this those who say this, they based in the Surah Az-Zumur. See, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَتَوَفَّى الْأَنفُسَ حِينَ مَوْتِهَا وَالَّتِي لَمْ تَمُتْ فِي مَنَامِهَا. Allah Azza wa Jal take away the souls of those who did and the souls of those who didn't die during their sleep. So it's said that they meet. And in some ulama they said that even this dead person will tell this living soul about something that nobody knows it except this dead person. And then they find it. Okay. But we be careful. Not every dream is correct and true. Okay? Because maybe the Satan, it's come in the appear for the person and somebody that he knows. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ said that the Shaitan will never ever take the form of the Prophet ﷺ or the image of the Messenger of Allah ﷺ. So if you see the Messenger of Allah ﷺ, okay, in the prescription, in the same description that you read and you know in the authentic sources, because you need to go and read about the Prophet ﷺ, about his face, about his hair, how does he looks like. If he appeared to you in this, that means you saw the Prophet ﷺ. Because the Shaitan never take his image. Naam? Right. The soul of the believers, my dear brothers, there is some narration that said at the time of Barzakh, the soul of the believers will be in paradise. Some people they ask, how come in paradise before the day of judgment, the day of resurrection? No one enter paradise till now, okay, in his soul and body. Be careful. But the soul is there. The martyr, for example, the martyrs, their soul, as mentioned in some narration, it is Allah Azza wa Jal put it in the stomach of a green bird. Green bird. That they go around in paradise and eat from paradise. This is for whom? The martyr. Also, there is other narration about the souls of the believers. They are also in there. So these are some of the narration. Some it said, for example, just to give you some example, as mentioned by Imam Ahmad, the believing souls are in paradise and the disbelieving souls are in hell. This mentioned by Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. Others said the believing souls are in Aliyin and the disbelieving are in Sijjin. And this mentioned as we said. There are some, which is very for sure, the martyr, as you know, Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned in the Quran. Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned in the Quran they are in where? In paradise. In fact, they are living. ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون. Never ever think that those who kill in the cause of Allah Azza wa Jal are dead. They are living. They are living. And they have provision from Allah Azza wa Jal. There is a hadith that said when the brothers were killed in the day of Uhud, Allah will place their souls inside the bodies of green birds which come to the rivers of paradise. This is for whom? The martyrs. Now, how about the person in debt? This is something that we should take care of, because this is why I mentioned this. My dear brothers, it is very important to get rid of your debt in this world. And even the person, he want to write wasiyah, okay, last one, he should mention any debt in his side. Because it's mentioned, the Prophet ﷺ said, the believer's soul is kept in suspension by the reason of his debt until it is paid for him. So suspension because of debt. Some in the graves or in the barzakh, they are punished for certain acts they did in this world. It's mentioned in Al-Bukhari, Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam passed by the graves of two men and commented, verily they are being punished, but not for something major. One of them was not careful to remove all traces of urine, and the other used to tell tales and spread rumors about people. It is very important when we use the toilet, we should clean ourselves. Because this is one of the reasons of punishment in the grave. Okay? And the other person also who go around and make dispute between people. Come to one person and said, you know, some so-and-so, he said that you are ugly, that you are bad, you know nothing. Okay? You are not good in your work, you don't understand. And then he go to the other one, the first, and he say the same thing. And make dispute between people, called an-nammam, namima. So we should be careful. جزاكم الله خير. خلاص. بارك الله فيكم. See you inshallah in our next lecture. جزاكم الله خير for your time.